Hello there. My name is Cornelius Montgomery, and I am the world's oldest living scout. This is me, here with my troop in 1918. Or actually, maybe this is me over here. Or possibly this kid? I don't know. It's been a long time, and it's not relevant. What is relevant is what I've come to talk to you about today. And that's the wonders of scouting. For over 100 years, boys across America have come together to participate in the scouting program and have learned all kinds of skills to help them better themselves and serve their communities. Now, of course, things have changed over the years, but the core ideals at the heart of scouting remain strong and steadfast. Why, I remember back in my day, our scoutmaster, Lord Baden-Powell, used to hike us out into the middle of the deep wilderness and abandon us for days or even weeks at a time. We were left alone, nothing but our wits, our can-do attitudes, and our pocket knives. We foraged for berries and hunted squirrels and raccoons to survive. I fought off hungry black bears and mountain lions. We pitched our tents and built our fires in rainstorms and blizzards alike. They were brutal and difficult camping trips. Many of us did not survive. But those of us who did emerged from those woods as champions of the scouting way, true paragons of the code of scouting, and we were not alone. In those early years of scouting, different troops were popping up all over Long Island. It wasn't long before those troops came together to form an organization that would unite them in their common goals to serve their communities and themselves. The Suffolk County Scouting Council was born.
The role of the council is actually to organize all the various units. There's 340 total units within Suffolk County, and it's to try and bring them all together so that they can learn from each other, do activities together, and just kind of be able to see all the different diversity of the troops that we have within Suffolk County. If you're a little bit familiar with Long Island, you see that our areas are all very different. You know, we have our North Shore, we have South Shore, we have the East Enders. So by bringing various groups of people who definitely have different viewpoints and opinions and coming together in the name of similar activities and values helps to create that kind of shared bondness.
Yes, for nearly 100 years, the council has been hard at work, organizing events that can bring together the many troops on Long Island. And even to this very day, events like this year's Scouting Camporee in Brookhaven, where scouts can gather to learn and experience in cooperation with one another, or in friendly competition.
Every single month we do a camping trip and we go to different locations around the entire island, and we get to experience different locations, different times of year, different weather conditions. It's just really satisfying to me.
My probably favorite part of scouting, it was probably my first camp out when I learned everything, and that's when I learned to use an axe and everything, and I got my totem chip. It made me braver, and I also feel more comfortable, like in the woods and stuff like that, being outside, and like it just makes me more comfortable.
I think I got really more social because I meet new people every day, and it's just a really awesome experience for me.
Yes, it's true that each scout is unique, and each and every one of us finds a different reason to connect with scouting. The scouting program has something to offer everyone, and there's a whole world of possibilities. Myself personally, I took great joy and pride in my role as quartermaster of our troop. And as the chef, I kept the boys fed on a steady diet of salted tree bark, flame-roasted pine cones, and of course, s'mores. Thanks to the hindsight of modern science, we now know that a few of my menu choices were very high in fiber content. To us, the intestinal issues were simply another part of nature's splendor. Yes, there is so much to learn for those of us who walk the path of a scout. The journey is long and sometimes difficult, but there's always many friends to help you along the way.
Well, there's really three aims to Boy Scouts. There is the fact of becoming a good citizen and understanding what it means to be a citizen of your nation, physical fitness, and also a sense of community and leadership. And I think those are the things that really the program helps with.
You really actually learn a lot. You learn about being a good neighbor, participating in citizenship, voting, caring about others, doing good deeds, especially when nobody is watching you, being truthful. So I think even if they never go all the way to the highest ranks that we have at Eagle Scout, they still are able to get a lot out of the program.
We do a lot of rock climbing and some shooting and some dog sledding.
We do like fun projects like Pinewood Derby. We race wood cars down the track.
It's a lot of fun working with the boys and keeping scouting going. Getting out on all these adventures and being as silly as we possibly can and having a good time.
Fun is the biggest thing for me. If you're not having fun, you're not having scouting. And you learn a lesson while you're having the fun, and the kids don't even realize that the lessons are there for them to grow and learn.
A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
The most rewarding thing is doing exercises, helping other people especially, and getting a reward for it.
I think my daughter had a lot of attention issues in school. She had a lot of focus issues. She was just very spontaneous and impulsive. The teacher and I were trying to figure out how to make it work in school. And so I was watching her during a den meeting, and the minute one of the den leaders raised their hands up, my daughter just shut her mouth immediately. So the teacher and I decided to, all right, well, let's try putting the ears up. So within 2 weeks, she was paying better attention. Her grades went up. The teacher was a lot more relaxed and went home a lot happier. And she was getting a lot more out of her day at school. She's doing amazing. And part of the incentive was for if she was, doing well and listening and participating actively in her class, she was able to wear her uniform to school. So every Thursday, she would aim to wear her uniform to school. Now, I can't not get her to wear her uniform to school.
Our program offers so many different things. I mean, we have scouts working with National Geographic in the Galapagos Islands. We have scouts going to Antarctica. So to now have young women who can also be able to participate in those opportunities is just going to be awesome.
We're up to about over 60 kids in the whole pack. And last year, we were actually very lucky to be the first early adopter unit that had the new program for girls in Cub Scouting, which just started 2 years ago.
When I asked my daughter if she wanted to join, she was excited. She was like, yeah, I want to be a Boy Scout. And she has friends in her school, who are here today, they're not in the same troop, but they're like, what are you doing here, Julia? And she said, I'm a scout now. And they're like, oh my God, really?
I don't think about it too much. I just, have fun and hang out with my best friend.
What is your favorite thing about being a Boy Scout?
Probably being in nature.
I like camping and roasting marshmallows.
It's fun being out here with everyone.
Mine's probably the troop in general because it's as if we're all just a big family.
I think that's really the best thing is that we're teaching the kids to respect one another, get along, and be a team.
Where else can you go with your 9-year-old son, your 6-year-old daughter, and a husband and wife can go and do something as a family these days? So every Thursday night we have family time. It's with our Scout family, and we love it.
Being able to grow and connect, doing these events right here,
also
all the Weeblos out here, all the Boy Scouts, earning pocket knives and useful tool and how to use them.
For me, my hopes are that we just continue to grow. Right now we have over 13,000 kids that we're serving. There's 1.5 million people in Suffolk County. We should have way more youth that we're serving, so that's really the goal. And again, it's exciting to have now young ladies being able to participate in some of our traditional scouting programs. So doing that too, growing it, having more opportunities for the kids, and just more youth having good times.
Because the program's been around for now over 100 years. In Suffolk County, we're coming up on 100 years, which is so exciting. It has stood up to the test of time due to the values that it holds, and those are timeless.
100 years is a long time. It might seem strange to think about scouting as something that has lasted for that long, but is it really that surprising? Scouting brings people together. People from different walks of life, or even people from the same family. That's the true wonder of scouting. The people that we share it with. And the Suffolk County Scouting Council is excited to help share scouting with many new generations of young people, boys and girls. Looking back on 100 years gives us a reason to be proud, but looking forward to the future gives us a reason to be hopeful. We Scouts do our best to live by the Scout motto, be prepared. And being prepared means more than just learning to tie knots, although the knots are still cool. Be prepared also means be prepared for the future. Be prepared for your opportunities to be a good person. Be prepared to treat people with respect and dignity. On behalf of the Suffolk County Scouting Council, I'd like to thank you for being a part of Scouting on Long Island. Let's make the next 100 years of Scouting even better than the last.